So how do we develop that? And one of the ways other countries have developed that, you just have to look at Shenzhen, just out of Hong Kong. You look at what Dubai's done with Knowledge Village and up and down Sheikh Zayed Road and a whole lot of other places, is special purpose or special economic zones. Now, that became a dirty word in a lot of economists' views for a long time because they see it as corporate welfare. It's just another economic tool. If we were able to develop those sorts of zones around areas like Marsden Point, around areas like NAFA Innovation Park for primary added value manufacturing, something up in the far north that might be digitally enabled, just because of logistics of getting product from market down to Auckland and out. Sort of a digital hub makes a lot of sense up there, and then some companies up there that are already world class in AI. So why wouldn't we build on an AI centre up in the far north and build that?
But you know? Coming back to the whole concept of a special economic zone, you're literally talking about sort of a tax-free or tax-reduced investment in incentives and,
yes.
and lower thresholds for organisations that are prepared to bring their services, knowledge, organisations, people into Northland and set up shop here. I mean, that's the kind of big thinking that
totally
we've been lacking for
yep.
forever and a day. So
yep.
That's exciting stuff. What would it take for that to actually happen? Do you think there's an appetite for that at a national level? Do you think anybody in Wellington would actually back that?
Well, I think we need to start having this conversation, because doing the same thing we've always done will get us the same result. You know, if we do want to build out our industries, we are going to have to provide some sort of package of incentive to get people in here, especially international investors, because we're in a globally competitive market. They don't have to come here. New Zealand is only one option. Now, with the new rules around residency and what we call these golden visas and golden investment that the government is actually tweaking at the moment, again, these are not new things. I mean, these have been done before and done by many countries.
Yeah, and done incredibly successfully. You just look at Dubai or Hong Kong or
yep.
anywhere, parts of Indonesia where these kind of things
yep.
have happened. But that's an exciting thought, Paul. Have you shared that with anyone?
Yes. Yes, I'm sharing that with ministers. I share it with officials. And what I'd love the business community to do, if they agree, is join me. Join me with those sorts of advocating. Because if we could get that, we would see Marsden Point and that whole Ruakaka area build out really well. And we're talking high-value jobs. We're talking high-value manufacturing. We're talking energy-based. If I look at NAFA, extrapolate that in a primary sector model, so primary sector manufacturing, this is the sort of thing, this is the sort of thinking we need. And it need not go on forever. There can be a time frame on these things, you know?
Yeah, okay, so two things, both sides of the same coin. First off, how's this idea being received by your peers and business leaders across Northland? And on the other side of that same coin, how's it being received when you're talking about it in Wellington? Is there a mutual? Is there any possibility of some mutual coming together of the minds?
I think there's a work in progress here. So when I talk to people in Northland about it, it's yes, great. How fast can we do this, and why wouldn't we? When I talk to officials in Wellington, there's a little bit of wariness there, because we've just come from 30 odd years of neoliberal economics, which a model like this is generally seen as if you like a corporate welfare model. I think we need to move from that thinking, which says, okay, what are other countries doing, and how might we do it better?
Well, if you look at global geopolitics, Paul, now's a bloody good time for people to be talking about this. I mean, Trump's taking us back to the economic policies of the 60s. So, if we're going to be looking at economic policy reversion, we could just as well be looking at free trade zones as anything else, right?
This is a perfect time to be attracting high-profile, high-net-worth individuals to New Zealand, to Northland, because of the geopolitical situation. If there's one place that people would like to come, it's New Zealand. So if we can get to the Northland with their expertise, with their investment, with their channels to market, with their customer base, we could shortcut 10 years of trying to do this organically.
So look, I understand how a firm manufacturing bicycles might be tempted to go and set up shop in Ruakaka. But Paul, they're a million miles away from any kind of market for all of their bicycles. What sort of, given New Zealand's geographic location and the difficulties around routes to market and things like that, maybe there aren't any difficulties. I don't know. What's your thought? What kind of organisations would we be looking at to benefit from these economic zones?
Bicycles is one example, and I'm sure bicycles get made in Vietnam a lot cheaper than us and transported.
Exactly right.
Transported to market, right? So bicycles might not be the best example. But if you look at what the thinking around Marsden Point is, for example, when you look at biofuels, when you look at energy, when you look at marine engineering, if you combine the thinking around the clusters that we have already, our specialisation or where we want to go, that's the type of profile of investor and person you would want to bring in. The same thing with our primary-based manufacturing. The challenge with our primary sector up here is we basically export water. And what I mean by that is we export horticulture that's full of water, and we're not turning it into juice, we're not turning it into nutraceuticals or cosmeceuticals. There's a couple of small GMP labs at Ngāwhā that we run, and Suzanne runs a wonderful little business there helping companies. We need to build that out. So it's finding our niches. We're a small country. We have to have high value, added value niches that we're going to be very, very profitable in. So we need to target that type of investor into our special economic zone. So it's profiling, and it's profiling in a business way.
Paul, fascinating stuff. Thank you very, very much indeed for joining us on True North, and I hope you get to share the benefits of this podcast with your really rather wonderful network and all your friends and family. So thanks again. It's been really great having you on, and all the very, very best with these endeavours.
Thank you, Peter.